Hey everyone, Ali here from Learn Awesome, and this video in our regular expression playlist is about flags. And no, regular expressions don't have their own flag, but the term refers to special parameters that can change the way a regular expression is interpreted by the parsing engine or the way it interacts with the input text. This is just a formal definition which would only make sense after we go through some of these flags and see how they work. So let's have a look at the list of these and then go in detail of each flag. So here's the list, and as you can see, there are around a dozen flags that we need to discuss. And no, you don't need to memorize them all. Some of these you may never use ever, like if you never work with Unicode inputs, you may never use the Unicode flag. But each and every one of these is important and has a purpose in specific use cases. So while memorizing them is not important, knowing about their existence and purpose definitely is. And that is what we shall do. So let's evaluate each, and let me remind my viewers that this video has chapter navigation. So if you came here looking for details on a specific flag, you can jump right to its coverage using cuts in scroll bar or links in video description. Before starting off with flags, I have to tell you a very important related concept, that is how regular expressions are conventionally written. So far we have just typed them in example websites like regular strings, but if I can show you in, let's say, Regex 101, and if you note carefully, the regular expression text box has a forward slash in the beginning and near the end too. This is intentional, and conventional or formal syntax for writing regular expression is to enclose them in forward slashes, one before and one after. And yes, the existence of these forward slashes in test websites like regex101.com is purely cosmetic, but in some programming languages, they are a recommended syntax like JavaScript and PHP. Now, this is not a strict requirement, but rather a convention. So even JavaScript allows for passing in regex as a string, enclosed in quotation marks to its regular expression objects, and PHP allows for other delimiters than forward slash. The real reason I am bringing this up is that it allows you to specify flags right alongside regular expressions in one go. So the formal syntax becomes forward slash regular expression ending forward slash followed by the flags. You can specify more than one flag after the ending forward slash. So anytime you see a regular expression enclosed in forward slashes, don't be alarmed as they are not part of regular expression as such, but do note with care that what letters are mentioned outside these slashes, as they are flags acting as accompanying instructions, as we shall see. If you intend to use regular expressions in programming languages, and this is where most use cases exist, here are a few examples of usage in JavaScript, PHP, and Python. You can skip the slide otherwise. Note the forward slash syntax being applied in each with flags. JavaScript even allows you to drop single or double quotes entirely for regular expressions, but also provides a way to pass them as string to their regexp class constructor with flags as separate argument. So you have both options. RegExp class allows you to perform most of the regular expression operations like match, parse, etc. In Python, we have the RE package that provides several regular expression functions, so importing it is necessary. Here we are passing flags as third argument, and we can combine multiple flags via pipe symbol, which acts as a bitwise OR operator, allowing you to specify multiple flags. In PHP, you use functions like pragmatch, which take regular expression strings, following the forward slash syntax with flags specified afterwards. I read somewhere that you can use hash or pound sign or other delimiters instead of forward slash, but seriously, why would you do that? Anyway, this was a quick introduction on how you use forward slashes in programming languages and specify flags. Let me know via comments if you would like me to create separate videos with flags being used in programming language, and I shall happily create one for you. So finally, we are ready to look at the flags themselves. So top of the list is G flag, which is the default global search flag. It indicates that all regex operations are to be performed on entire input string. That is not just stop on first match. Conversely, without G flag, it will stop evaluating string as soon as it finds the first match. As an example, a string replace operation with regular expression would work differently with or without G flag. So it would be like a replace once or replace all operation. So let me show you a quick example as G flag is important and is practically useful. So let's go to regex 101 and let me just type ABC and I say ABC hello world ABC. It matched twice, once at index 0 and another time at index 15, and that is why this G flag was on. So if I click here on Regex 101 website, you see there are the list of flags that most of them we are going to look into. So the global and multi-line flags were on. So if I turn the global flag off, then you can see it only matched the first ABC and not the second ABC. This is what I meant, that without G flag, it would stop as soon as it finds the first match. Here's a little JavaScript demonstration as well, where we have this test string foo example foo, and we are performing a replace operation with this and this regular expression. One has the G flag and the other without a G flag. And as you can see, the results, the one without G flag only removed the first foo in the test string, and the one with G flag removed both of these. Next up, we have the indices or D flag, which can be used in combination with others like G, indicates that we need additional information in form of indices of matched substrings in our result. So this, as you can imagine, does not exist in our Regex 101 website in the dropdown, but only exists in programming languages. So let me give you a quick demo of how it works. So here we are in Visual Studio Code with a quick example for the indices or D flag, with a regular expression being used as /foo with the D and G flag combined being applied on the test string foo example foo. So we execute this regular expression on this input string and find two results which we are logging, and it found two occurrences of the match. One match found on index 0 to 3 and the other match found from index 10 to 13. So this is how you use the D flag in JavaScript. Note that this information is not returned if not using the D flag. All right, our next flag is the ignore case flag, which indicates the search is to be performed in case-insensitive manner. We have this example here where ABC in caps with the I flag would match small caps ABC, all caps ABC, and mixed ABC. So we can quickly try it out in our regex 101 as well. So let's go there and just quickly go over it. So if I do ABC and type ABC. So there's only one match for the all caps ABC without the I flag. But if I go here and select this insensitive flag, what a word, then the match shifts to the first one. And that is because we just use the I flag, not with the global flag. So once I combine it with the G flag, then it finds three matches for all types of ABC case, uppercase, lowercase, and mixed case. This is pretty straightforward, so I'm going to skip the JavaScript example. So let's go to our next item, which is the single line or dot all flag. So this one indicates that the dot wildcard should continue search beyond the new line character. If you recall from earlier videos, dot is Ultra Pro Max wildcard, which matches any character, alphabet, number, special character, Unicode, anything you throw at it, it's gonna match. But if you throw a new line character, it's gonna assume that it has hit a wall and it will stop searching. So let's take this example on the slide and take it to our regex 101 website and let's see what it does. So let's replace it with ab.staticc, and in here let me type abmnopqrstuv WXYZ. So I have introduced two new line characters, and if I change it to AB.staticz, it should have matched from AB to Z, but it did not happen because there are new line characters in between. But if I go here and find the single line or dot matches new line flag, then you see it is working. It is selecting from start of the string right until the end, even if they are new lines. Again, no need to demonstrate in JavaScript. This is self-explanatory as it is. So let's go to our next flag, the multi-line or M flag. So let me read aloud its definition and then we'll explain. So M or multiline flag allows cap and $regex operations on strings that contain multiline characters that would otherwise fail. So as example, we can consider the cap character in regex, which has a special meaning like clean star and dot, and that meaning is it matches following characters only if they are in start of the test string. In other words, if you have an essay and you want to write a regular expression that matches all lines that start with the word the, you would write a regular expression like forward slash cap sign the. Now, a search with such a regex would only work for the first line and not any other lines in essay that start with the, unless, you guessed it right, you use the M or multiline flag. Similarly, $sign is used to match characters or words only if they appear at the end of the test string, which can be a multi-line test string. But in this case, it would only work for the last line without multi-line flag. Yes, it would jump past the new line characters and match the last word in the entire multi-line string, but if you introduce the multi-line flag, then this behavior changes and it would match end of the line characters of each line. Now, I'm sure this is not making too much sense without an example or tryout. And apologies, this is a chicken and egg kind of flag, which needs to be explained before the example. So let's go to Regex 101, and I assure you everything would start to make sense. So first off, let's introduce the cap and $signs. So for that, let me introduce my favorite foo hello foo example, and I say cap foo. And even with, and as you can see, even with G flag, it is only matching the starting foo of this line, even though there are two foos present. And if I remove this cap sign, then it's gonna match both of these. So cap sign forces the match to occur at start of the string only. But if I copy and paste this, then it is not going past the new line character. But it would if I select the multi-line flag like this. Right now, it is gonna start matching start of every line. All right, let me turn it off for a second and let's remove this cap sign and focus on the $sign. So first of all, let me get rid of this just to make my point, and introduce the $sign here. And as you can see, it is the opposite of the cap sign. It matches the preceding word only if it occurs at end of the string. But what if it's a multi-line string? What's going to happen? So again, copy and pasting this. So as you can see, it stopped matching the foo at end of the first line. It went all the way right until the end of the entire input string, even if it contains new lines, right? But in doing so, it stops matching the foos that exist at end of lines. So if you want your match to occur at end of each line, then again, you're gonna introduce the multi-line flag and it's gonna start matching end of every line as compared to match of the entire input string. I hope this is clear by now with these examples. Okay, next up are the U and V flags. U and V flags instruct the regular expression parsing engine to run regular expression in Unicode aware mode. In case the word Unicode is new to you, the standard ASCII or UTF-8 character sets accommodates only English alphabets, numbers, and a handful of other characters, and is used by default in regular expressions and programming languages. While Unicode is a UTF-16, that is 16-bit or double in size character set, and contains characters from almost all languages and has a huge range of other characters and even emojis and icons. Unicode aware mode with U and V flags allow you to use Unicode characters in your regex like \u curly braces 68 would match H, as 68 is a Unicode ID for H and \u indicates special purpose for character U. The same regex without U flag would only match a string of character U repeated 68 times, because as it happens, curly braces 68 following a character is a quantifier just like static or clean plus, and it is a range bounded quantifier, so it is specifying that the repetition must be limited to 68 repetitions only. But if we use it with the /u or the u flag, then it means it is not gonna treat this as a quantifier, but rather this whole thing would be treated as a Unicode character. Makes a hell of a difference if not used with care. Note U and V both are Unicode flags, where V is a new variant for Unicode and does some things differently. U and V are incompatible, but that discussion is beyond our scope for this video. Alright, let's go back to our Regex 101 website and quickly give it a try. Before doing that, let me also show you this Wikipedia page has a full list of Unicode characters that can be used in this way, and we are going to use this, sorry, not this one, U0068 as our example, which stands for the H character, right? But you can use it for almost any character. There are tons of them. In fact, why not? Let's select this one. Okay, let me paste it here. /u 01C6, and it's giving me an error. And this is where the flavor starts to shine. /u is used with this JavaScript language and some other languages. So if I choose this one, then the error goes away. And in here, I'm going to select the Unicode mode, and let me copy this character and type it here, ABC XYZ, and you can see it matched the character right in between indicated by this one. So I can introduce C and X before and after, and this entire thing is matching. And since we have already discussed this, let me tell you what happens if I say A3, and now this is going to match if A is repeated exactly 3 times. Let's move on to our next flag, which is the sticky flag. So using a sticky flag on regular expression, the matching is performed starting from the last index property on regex instance. You can even set where on the target string the search for a match should begin by setting the last index property on regular expression index. Note that after a failed test operation, the last index would be set to 0. This one has full terms and conditions type behavior for exec and test methods, which I can't cover in interest of time. But if you plan to use it, do go over the documentation available online to avoid surprises, as behavior isn't as straightforward as its siblings. And again, needless to say, this is a programming specific flag. So let me go straight to Visual Studio Code and show it to you. So as I mentioned in the start of this video, that if we assign a regular expression using the regular expression syntax that is enclosed in forward slashes followed by flags, then a regexp object is created by default in JavaScript. I'm using JavaScript as an example. We can use other programming languages examples as well, and you can ask me to create videos on that if you are working with some other languages. I'm going to demonstrate in JavaScript for now. So here we create a regexp object, and it has this last index property that we were talking about in the slide. So depending on what the value of this last index is, then the match is going to start from there and there only. It's not going to go anywhere else. So let's see what happens when we execute this. So let me do a run and debug operation. And we can see that the 3 results for these console logs are false, true, and false. So basically the match attempt at index 0 failed because the index 0 is starting with this hash sign, and there is no foo matching at the index 0. But the index 1 attempt did succeed because index 1 is this, and here the regular expression is able to match the foo thing. Similarly, the last index equal to 5 also failed because the end of string does not have any foo to be found. Okay, now let's make things a bit more interesting. So I would remove this hash sign from my sticky input string, do a run and debug operation, and yes, it matched the 0 and failed at 1 and 5. But remember from the slide, I mentioned that any failure would set the last index to 0. So let's put that to the test. I'm going to copy paste these two lines and call it post fail and log its result. So let's see what happens this time. If I do run and debug, then see, it's true because when the match attempt with last index equal to 5 failed, it set the last index to 0, and then the next test attempt would succeed because the last index is set to 0 at this stage and it's gonna find foo at index 0. That's it, folks. We have covered the flags and hopefully you would be able to use them as per your need with regular expressions. In next video, we shall look at assertions, which are regular expression constructs to test conditions on input string. Assertions are extremely useful feature of regular expressions and definitely not something to be missed. Please give a thumbs up to this one if you liked and consider subscribing to the channel. See you in the assertions video. Thank you and goodbye.